Hey guys, LukeMan97 back with another episode in BeamNG.Drive, and today we're going to be going over minor update 0.24.1.1, or I don't know how many .1s there is, but anyway, they call it a minor update, but it actually added a new thing, a lot of new things, and you're looking at one of those new things right now, and that's the new car named the Bruckell Bastion. So anyway, so if we go into the vehicles menu, we can see there's 20 different variations of the Bruckell Bastion. And so we got base models, taxi, going up to Lux, sport, off-road model, even police versions, street tuned. I have the Hot Lap Special. The Hot Lap Special is the one I have right here, right now. Then there's Battle Hawks, which is just a really high-end version, Red Tail, Drift, and Drag. Anyway, but I have the Hot Lap version right now. And so this is what it looks like from the outside. Pretty nice, modern-looking car. And then when you go inside, also looks very modern inside. You see the pretty modern instrument cluster. It lights up red when you turn on the headlights. Then this is just the pretty nice interior. There's a beam navigator right over here. And yeah, but anyway, it's kind of nice that they finally made a Bruckell car that is a newer looking car, because you know there's only two other Bruckell cars other than this, and there's the Bruckell Moonhawk and the Bruckell Legrand. The Moonhawk is really old. It literally looks like it's something from the 1950s maybe. And the Legrand looks like maybe something from late 90s, early 2000s. So it's nice to finally have a car that looks more up-to-date 2021. And if you would have to ask me, it might be like look a little bit like a Mustang and a little bit like a Ford Taurus too, the newer version of the Ford Taurus. But anyway, yeah, this is just one of the new things, but let's go ahead and take it for a test drive real quick. I'm just going to change the license plate stuff real quick. Okay, you can see just put a nice, actually that didn't work. Let's just put a nice BeamNG on there. Okay, anyway, let's take this car for a test drive. Now, like I mentioned, this is the Hot Lap Special, which is a higher end car. So it's obviously going to be really fast, and then also it's really like prone to sliding. See, I'm just turning sharply like this, and it's sort of sliding. Let's see, it's just when you start out like this, look. And you start turning, it's prone to, you know, slide a little bit like that maybe. But anyway, that's the Bruckell Bastion. That's only one of the new things they added. Another thing they added is that old sports car, the Civetta Bolide. They have remastered that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the remastered Bolide. So there's again 20 versions of it. So let's see. Let's just grab a regular Bolide right now so we can take a look at it. Okay, so as we can see, first off, you see that there's wider tail lights than there used to be, which is pretty nice. And on the front, you have a little bit different headlights. Well, obviously you still have the pop-up headlights, but you have like a little bit, I don't know, wider blinker lights here, I don't know. But anyway, and there's also like a lot more detail on the sides, like apparently this thing right here, and then I don't know, just more detail. Oh, the engine I guess has more detail. Let's go ahead and rip off this engine cover. Never mind, I guess that was the engine. Okay, we just flipped the car over. But let's take a look at the remastered engine here. Just ignore the rest of the damage. So yeah, it's kind of a nice, realistic looking engine here. We got, obviously our things here, and then these pipes go up here for ventilation on the sides. But anyway, yeah, that's the remastered bolide, and not only did they do that, oh, and I forgot to show you the new interior. If you go inside, there's a new interior. So, as you can see, the steering wheel has the nice, little Audi Civetta logo on it. And then, as far as gauges go, as we can see here, we got way different gauges. Green gauges instead of the previous orange ones, which is kind of nice. And I don't know if they had this much detail before. Like now it says Civetta, and it has this nice little owl logo here in the bottom. Then you got, of course, fuel, oil, water, and amps, pressure. Not pressure, but gauges for the car. And they also added new versions. The bolide only used to have only a few versions before, but now they've added versions like the course, whereas you used to have to get a mod to have a course bolide. And then they also added 390 GT Group 4, 390 GT Group 5, which are like top race cars. Let's take a look at the course, because I remember we used to, this is where the tail lights are more wider. See that the blinkers are here down below, and they're a little bit more thinner and wider. And then in the front, of course, you got the nice course headlights, not pop-up, they're just course. But yeah, you remember, used to have to get a mod to get a course, but now it's just, normal in the game, which is pretty nice. And also, I noticed that in this bolide, instead of having a fuel gauge up top like it usually does, it has a boost gauge. So when you go like that, the boost goes like that. And then, of course, you got your oil, water, and I guess the course doesn't have the amps gauge, the battery amps gauge, like the normal bolide. It has, because, it can only have 4 gauges, I suppose, and they decided to replace the fuel right here with the boost. And so over here they had to replace the amps with the with the fuel. Because, you can do without a battery amps gauge, but you gotta have a fuel gauge. So anyway, yeah, that's nice now that the course is default in the game. Now that's all the vehicle changes from this update, but another change in this update is the map itself. This is as you can recall, this is the ETK Driver Experience Center map, and I've never done a video here before. Tell me down in the comments if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever done a video in this map before, because honestly, this map it used to be like a pretty boring map. It kind of still is in some ways, because it's not like you got, I don't know, West Coast USA highways to drive on. I mean, there is a highway down here, but it's really short. It like it ends over there, and then it ends like somewhere down there. So it's not very long, and also doesn't have stuff like, industrial, all the buildings, but anyway, I would like to announce that this map in the new minor update, they call it a minor update, but it's almost like a major update, because, that's what they usually, in minor updates, it's mostly just hot fixes, but in major updates, they usually add like vehicles and remaster a vehicle or a map, but they call it a minor update because I guess they just did a major update, but it kind of seems like a major update to me. Anyway, they made the terrain on ETK Driver Experience Center look a lot more realistic. You'll remember that before, the terrain, especially the grass, was just, a really light green, and of course that just looks more, kind of terrible, and that's not how it is in real life. You usually have, darker green grass. So they made the grass like a lot darker. The trees, they also remastered a lot. And the main building here that has the lighted ETK logos on it and the strip of lighting all around the top of this triangular building. Let me go ahead and change it tonight so you guys can appreciate that better. So you can see let me turn off those. You can see the triangle of light that lights up the top of that. This other building here is also lighted. And then, of course, you got a lighted ETK logo there. And then if you go down here, you also have a lighted ETK logo right there. So, and of course, you have lights that come on all over the map, which is kind of a nice thing, too, because in, I don't know if other maps actually have lighting on them. But anyway, what I was saying was, yeah, they remastered this main building also. Let's change it back to day, because noon. Let's see, they also remastered this, where it used to be like a different texture, but they made it a more realistic looking texture. And I guess made the roads more realistic too. There's also like a little pond here too. But anyway, yeah, just a lot more realistic feeling ETK map, like a lot more new feeling. Like, you know, when stuff is light green and old looking like that, it feels like an older version of the game, but it's pretty nice feeling now. Anyway, and the last thing they did in this update is they added more PBR terrain materials. I think that's what they did. Maps PBR update, it's called. I never really figured out exactly what PBR is. I'm pretty sure it stands, I don't know what it, no, I mean, I've never figured it out what it stands for. I know what it means, though. It means that they make the terrain look a lot more realistic. And of course, they did that with the remaster of this map. But they also did this, I don't have time in this video, unless you want this video to be like half an hour or 20 minutes long. I don't have time to load in all the maps that they put PBR materials in. But just a quick summary, I know they did it in Industrial, Grid Map V2, and I think West Coast USA, because I guess when they did the major update, they only updated a few maps, like Utah and a few other maps with PBR materials, because, you know, obviously you can't do everything at one time, so they decided to wait till now to do maps like Industrial and stuff like that. PBR just means, I think, more realistic terrain materials, so now the terrain reacts different to light and, you know, stuff like that. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for the minor update 0.24.1.1. But yeah, pretty nice update overall. The update 0.24, the major winter release, had a lot of bugs in it, which this one doesn't have as many bugs, so I'm kind of thankful that there's not so many bugs in this one. In fact, they fixed some of them. Because, you know, if you're a plane guy and like to fly planes in BeamNG, you've noticed recently that planes like the B-25 Mitchell and the DG-100 glider haven't been available in the game because I guess the mods were too bugged due to the winter release that just came out, but now they are also back. So a lot of bugs were fixed and nice new cars added, cars remastered and update, and ETK map remastered. Also, yeah, PBR terrain materials as well for more maps, which is nice. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you enjoyed the new update as well. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe down below and like this video. And I will see you in the next one.